It's Feel Good Friday with Dr. Phil 2. It's time to fill your Friday with something good. Come on together, let's shape a new start with clarity, confidence, and purpose. It's Feel Good Friday. What's going on, everybody? Listen, we are live right here with Feel Good Friday. There is always something to feel good about. And so, as we are live right here, we just want to welcome all those who are tuning in. I've got something special to talk about today, and want to welcome those who will be joining us on Instagram as well. But we want to talk about something special, something dynamic, something that is awesome today. Something that is awesome today. And that is the release of my new book, The Adventures of the Snuggly Wugglies. And so we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Um, and as we are talking about that, because these are things that um, we encourage people to do when it comes to writing, when it comes to navigating some of these things. And so we are talking about this book on Feel Good Friday, The Adventures of the Snuggly Wugglies. Uh, this book started probably about 16 or something years ago. Uh, it started with me just telling stories to my kids, just telling stories about, um, just trying to keep them entertained. And I don't know where it came out, but it was just all right. The Adventures of the Snuggly Wugglies, and I would just move my hand like this. I would just move my hand like this, and I would just tell the story and entertain them while we drive. And so this was an awesome opportunity to just look at it. Now, for years after telling this story, I said, you know what? I've got to put this story in a book. It's just I couldn't find the right illustration or illustrator. And then I just wasn't really working hard at producing it. So I started writing it years ago. I can't even tell you how long ago I started writing the stories, but I started to write it down. So as I would tell my kids the stories, I would also just kind of write it down and um, write down one. I said, okay, I want a book full of 5 stories. So I started to develop 5 stories. Um, and then just kind of got stagnant, just, didn't give it my all. And then my wife, she got inspired. She wrote her book. She got a coach and wrote her book called We Need More Clouds, which is still available today, But yeah, she got inspired. She found an illustrator, and that was phenomenal. And when you're talking about being inspired and saying, okay, well, if somebody can do that, then I can definitely get it done. So I started to really work at the book again, but life just took different directions. I was, did more speaking in schools. I write for Message Magazine, so I have a column there. Just got into my churches as ministry, and really did not focus in on the book like I should have. But guess what? It all came to fruition. Finally, I got a coach. I saw that Dorian Stewart had done her book called The Promise Pals, and I bought one. And I started to read to my son and said, wow, these are really good graphics. And how did you get it done? And we set up a meeting, and she coached me through how to get it done. And from our first meeting, y'all, I went to start designing. And I started designing, and I came up with this concept, everybody. I came up with this concept and started to develop Little Snuggly. So it started with Little Snuggly. And I said, okay, do we want it to be bears? Do we want it to be, something else? And eventually, this is what came out. And I said, okay. And so I showed it to my wife, my friends, and this stuck. This is it. Showed it to my kids. Hey, what do you think of this character? I like it. You like it? Okay, cool. Because we came up with some other characters. There were some other characters that came up first, but this one definitely came out. And very excited for this project. Very excited for this book, and and started working hard at it. Now, doing AI generated um, things, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. It just, even though they say AI takes less time to get things done, not if you want it right, not if you're not prompting right. And, just to get the prompts right, just to get everything right, it takes some time. So, as much as I love it, there is a time factor to make sure that you get the right things, and then start editing and things like that. But yeah, I got my coach, and from the first meeting, I was working to the second to the third, and we really started coming in with some great concepts. And then once the book was pretty much finished the way I thought it should be, then I realized the story was a little too long. And so I had to go back in and shorten the story. Okay, how do I shorten it? Because I'm reading books to my kids all the time. I'm reading storybooks to my son. He's 6 years old. So I'm reading storybooks to him as well. And I'm seeing that, okay, these books are a little shorter than my book. So let me shorten the story, but still give it the right point. And so that's what I did. I shortened the story, gave it the right point, and there we have it. And so going through the editing process, and I want to shout out not only my coach Dorian Stewart, not only my wife Lynette Wesley with We Need More Clouds, but shout out to our Pine Forge principal, um, Miss Warfield Rhodes, and thank you so much for taking the book, doing the edits. You definitely added to what I needed to get it in the right place. Thank you to Vinette Dye, and thank you for taking the book and also sending me a video of some things that I can correct. So thank you so much for your contribution and making sure I got the right product out. And so everybody, I've had some help. I've had my wife look over the last time and say, okay, fix this, fix that. And it is great to have a village to really inspire getting things done. To my crew, my friends, signed up with Kimon Hines, Pierre Quinn, really getting inspired to speak and to get things done. But we got things done. So guess what, everybody? Here is the QR code. You can scan this QR code to get your book. We want to make sure that this book gets out there. We want to make sure that we set the pace for making an impact and putting quality books into the bookshelves of your children, your nephews, your nieces, your kids. This is a book based on kindness. This is a book about, now the story I'm excited about because just one day randomly I'm telling the story. And I believe I was telling the story to Leah. I think that's where it started. I'm telling her the story, and then I'm making up this story about kites. And he was at the park one day flying his kite. And initially, the story was about a helicopter that little Mugly was flying around the park. Now, you have two sets of families. You got the Snuggly Wugglies and you have the Mugly Wugglies. Now, the Snuggly Wugglies, that positive family, Muglies are still a little positive, but little Mugly is a little mischievous, a little misguided sometimes. And he has a friend in little Snuggly that helps him set things straight. So you have, I started telling the story about little Mugly in the park along with little Snuggly, and really the story just started to take off in my head as I'm telling it. And soon after that, I had to write the story down. I was like, I love this story. And as I'm telling my daughter the story of the kite, I'm like, yes, got to write this down. And so started writing it down, started to develop the story, and this is the first book. Now, I actually produced the first book, which is the Thanksgiving story. That was the first one I produced, and I'll have to go back in and kind of fix it up even more. But Thanksgiving passed away. I was able to tell the story at my church. I was able to tell the story in some of the classrooms, in my son's classroom, and really, get some approval that these stories are where I need to be, where I need to go with this story. And so I'll be developing another book after this and another book after that, and so on. So we'll be creating more. So once again, please go to this QR code right here and get your book. This is The Adventures of the Snuggly Wugglies. The Adventures of the Snuggly Wugglies. I just like the name. I just came up with the name, and it was just a phenomenal experience. So everybody, just came on here for Feel Good Friday, because guess what? I feel good about this book. I feel good that this is pretty much my third book. I have an ebook out on right now online, and I collaborated with another book, right? Lessons for the Journey, right, with Paula Blackwell. And thank you, Paula, for your support, and thank you, Kimon. Thank you, my brothers, just all over. That's just been inspiring me. My sisters inspiring me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm looking forward to doing more book signings and getting this book out there. So I am excited to get this journey going. Please, when you get the book, I ask that you write a review on it, put a review right there on Amazon, and help us get this book out to millions of people. Help us get this book out to millions of people. So buy it, give me a review on Amazon, and please share it with the world. I pray that this book really does phenomenal for many people in many generations. So thank you, everybody. This is it. This is it. This is The Adventures of the Snuggly Wugglies. This is me as an author speaking to you. And I hope that you get inspired to write your own book. I hope you get inspired to write your own book. If you want information about this information, about how to get a coach, how to get your book out there, listen, it is not as hard as you might think. And I think that, as we write, I'm working on another book even now. So you have the help. You have the help. You have coaches, you have AI, you have so many opportunities out there to write your book. Get it done. Get it done. Stop using excuses. Don't wait as long as I did. I waited over 10 years to write this book. I waited a very long time to write this book, but it's ready now. It's ready to go now, and praise God that He's given me everything I needed to know to get this book done. Right timing, and I'm happy about it. So everybody, this is The Adventures of the Snuggly Wugglies. This is Feel Good Friday. What can you feel good about today? You can feel good that you can execute the vision that God has given you. You can execute the vision that God has given you. My goal is that I get the vision done. That what God has given me, I have learned through the pandemic, I've learned through time that I can get things done. So listen, whatever God has given you, get it done. Get it done. Don't use any excuses. I don't have this, I don't have that. Everything. You have more to your disposal, more to your advantage than you've ever had before. So, everybody, this is what I want to say to you. Just get it done. Get it done. Thank you so much for your support. Go ahead and scan this QR code. Go to Amazon and get your copy today of The Adventures of the Snuggly Wugglies. This book is going to impact lives. And we want it in every child's bookshelf, everywhere. Thank you, everybody. This is Feel Good Friday. There's always something to feel good about.
It's Feel Good Friday with Dr. Phil 2. It's time to fill your Friday with something good. Come on together, let's shape a new start with clarity, confidence, and purpose. It's Feel Good Friday.